What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another sick-ass episode of The Careful Boys, where, hey, you ever work in a group setting in anything? Could be a project at school, could be a company, you know, business, whatever. You make a mistake that costs a group big.
Ooh. Oh.
Yep. I'm not even gonna say what mine is. You guys go first.
You mean deleting the book?
I don't even need to say it. I don't even need to say it.
Oh, shit.
Have you messed up that hard? Where
Group setting?
I think I've messed up a lot for myself.
Yeah, I'm in that boat.
But like, I don't remember when I've done anything that was detrimental to other people. Yeah.
Besides getting canceled on this channel and then like other people have to deal with it.
I mean, that's a pretty relevant one. That's
a big
That's
one.
the only one that's it. But your turn, Nick.
Nah, like I just feel like when it comes to group class, like anything with a group, I'm hyper like I cannot fuck up. I feel like a group keeps me more accountable than like what Joe said if I was by myself. If it's my own shit, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But if it's someone else's shit, I feel like I'm on my best behavior because I'm not trying to ruin nothing.
Me too.
Why, you fucked some shit up before?
No, it's just a good question, right?
Yeah, this is a good question.
I mean, let's go with
I'm
Can.
sure there's something though.
Let's start with Can, and let's get all the details and the specifics of which files you deleted.
It was the episode with Bobby Hundreds.
That's a fucking...
That's a big hey,
It
bro.
was one angle. It was this angle.
My angle.
Yeah, and okay. This is basically what happened. I'm like changing the cards, right? And this is before I had my new system that I do now. So normally I would take out the cards, dump the footage, check the footage, then put a new set of cards. What happened that time, because I didn't figure that out yet, was when you would tell me to come out, I would grab new cards, put them on the table, change the cards, and then I got it mixed up without realizing it because I was like either in a conversation or whatever. And then the next step for me would be to format the cards. And then I formatted one camera. And as soon as I hit format, I'm like, wait, is this the right card?
You formatted before checking it?
Yep.
Oh, that's a bad step.
Yeah, so, yeah. So for me, my issue was not paying attention, and the process that I had, it left a lot of room for errors like that.
And you were high.
I was not high. I was normal.
And you were drunk.
I wasn't.
Good thing Bobby Hunter is easy to book too. So.
Yeah. But the thing is,
It's not like he's the head of Disney now or whatever.
It's easy to bring him on any single time.
after that happened, I think the future times where things would get deleted wasn't really on me. It was just like either somebody didn't hit record or some shit like that. Just like other things. But that's kind of hard to avoid too, I think. It happens here and there, but other than that, that was like the only time where I was in a group work setting where I was like, oh fuck, I really fucked up, you know. But then I try to like make the most of it. I try to like save it and whatever, and just never let that happen again. So
Shout outs to Bobby though. Bobby is the head of Disney Global Merchandising now.
Wow.
Which is fucking insane.
It's a big fucking deal, man.
Fucking insane.
How did he get that?
I think
How do you get a job like that?
I think probably
Who talks to
because he has done a lot of licensing through like the last 2 decades, and he actually has his hands in a lot of stuff like IP management to nonprofits to like he does so much across the board, and like the people that he like he works with like Gary Vee, and like he just like rubs shoulders with like the highest levels of people. And so I think it probably was a natural fit for him to take his talents from like a streetwear brand onto something that is much more like widespreading.
do you think he thinks it's the happiest place on earth now that he works for them?
That I don't know, but I know he's been a Disney fan forever.
I mean, I think it's a really smart move on their part too, because like they, you know, like you see what like Virgil did with like Louis Vuitton, and then Pharrell following those footsteps. You see how like Ronnie Five from Kith is like also merchandising head for like, you know, the New York Knicks or just maybe a bunch of New York shit in general.
Yeah.
And it's like you're just seeing these streetwear cultural influencers that also have a deep Rolodex of collaboration potential, And then for Disney, that makes sense. They're doing licensing collaborations all the time. But like, if you just do a collaboration with some like XYZ Chinese company on some furry, it's really just not gonna bring any new interesting attention from the youth and like cross-cultural like swag. Like Bobby Hunter is gonna kill it. He's gonna do some unique stuff that's gonna make headlines, and like, and he's head of merchandising for everything from licensing. So he'll be working on like video games and like.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the stuff he has his hands in is like, remember Family Style? That giant food festival that he would throw? Like that there was like a big ass event that would happen, you know?
He give you free slippers.
And he sold that to Complex Con. It's just like his hands are in so much crazy shit.
He sold it to Complex Con?
Yeah, they sold it to Complex Con, so now the Family Style is Complex Con's thing. He just does things next level, and it's dope. And even the name Family Styles too, like it keeps within like the Asian roots still.
Yeah.
And then he would have like the craziest sponsors and shit. Like I went to one of his parties once, and it was just like a last minute thing he threw together. I forgot what it was for, but I sat at the table with one of the reps from Stella, like Stella Artois, the fucking beer, and I was like, because I remember he messaged a bunch of people and he was like, I'm just gonna throw this thing together. I forgot what the reason was. It was an important reason, but I'm stupid. I don't remember. But it was like, I only got 2 weeks to throw this shit together, so I'm just gonna throw it together. And he rents Soho House in fucking downtown LA, which is already a hard ass venue to get. So his connections are deep as fuck. The whole thing is sponsored by fucking Stella, so free alcohol drinks for everybody. And then he has like food, and he thought it would be cool to do a night market version of all the heavy hitters in all the Asian food circles. So Mama Lou's was there, like fucking those Korean fried wings were there. So everyone kind of had like a night market of all the heavy hitters that everyone goes to in like K-Town, SGV, whatever. And then he had like a bunch of speakers come on and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? This motherfucker organized this shit in 2 weeks? And I remember sitting next to the Stella person, and I was like, how much does it cost to like bring you guys here? He goes, no, we sponsored it. Bobby calls us, we just come here, so we provide free drinks from everyone. And I'm
wow, Bobby just calls us.
I'm like, this fool could fucking move a mountain if he needs to. It's fucking crazy.
He's got the Midas touch, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool to see what he does with that position now. It's gonna be cool to see like how he grows that brand, because it's gonna be nuts. You're right. I didn't even think about all that.
It's so funny. Instead of like us talking about our fuck ups, we're talking about his successes.
Nah, but it is just fast. It is just like
because it's more fucking.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah, it's way more fascinating.
And when you see him like get that achievement, and then when you realize that like this fool was sitting in this chair, like just talking, like shooting the shit with us, you're like, bro.
Yep, and I deleted his footage.
Good for you. That's how we got there.
Fucking
circle,
what's up?
No, actually,
hey, you're real G,
when
dog.
I saw that post, I was trying to bring him back. But obviously when you work with a giant brand like Disney, he's like, honestly, they said no interviews until like everything is finalized.
Wow.
So Disney don't fuck around because they don't want anything to even have a potential of getting leaked.
For sure.
So he was like, I can't actually do any interviews.
Makes a lot of sense.
I was like, dude, this is fucking epic.
Did he tell Disney that it was JK News though?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, tell him.
No, don't do that, because I think Disney's gonna be like, especially.
Why do you say that? I don't even understand why you.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Like, it's gonna be a sick interview, but he's gonna delete the footage.
Don't waste your time on it.
Don't waste your time. Yeah.
Don't worry, nothing scandalous is gonna get out because it gets deleted right away.
Yeah, don't worry.
That's just crazy.
Damn. What about like school projects? You guys remember anything from that? We just segue.
Never fucked a group like that.
Group. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think like.
It's weird because I work in a lot of group projects. I don't really do things by myself.
I feel like my best projects are group projects.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what sucks is when you're in a group and then there's always that one person that fucks up for everybody else, and then you have to do all the work to like make up for that. That's when it sucks. The other way around. You know what I mean? Like you have a team that's supposed to do A, B, and C, and for some reason there's always that one person that just like doesn't do shit and expects everyone else to do it.
Who do you think that is in our group, Cam? Who Who do you think that just out of everyone that comes to this office, pretty consistent?
Dude, I don't want to point any fingers at you, but it's got to be you, man.
I drink the most porridge, and I show up the least.
I know you don't believe that. Give us a real answer.
Dude, it's got to be Nick.
Why?
For sure, Nick.
Trying to play it safe.
For sure, Nick, dude. All, what is it called?
I
All in on Nick.
most bottles of water here.
Yep. You eat the most food.
I take the most poops. Next, I think I'm surpassing Joe, so I just waste them. Yeah, it's probably me then. Okay.
Dude, it's gotta be you. It's definitely not Steve.
Steve,
because he's not here enough.
Anthony,
It's definitely not.
Like, okay, honest answer. I think, like, if Joe didn't hit home runs from time to time, it would for sure be Joe.
Joe what?
Joe, he'd be like, just like sometimes, like, you know, you're trying to keep the flow going. He'll go take a shit. He'll be doing double news. He'll just be yelling random shit. There would be a prompt and he'll change the subject because he just feels like it. If he doesn't like a topic, he's not going to talk for a long time.
He is the biggest derailer.
And then he fucking hits a home run, and then you're like, motherfucker.
Like,
maybe it was worth it.
there'll be a lull in one video at like the end of the day, and then something Joe's like, have you heard about this though? And we're like, oh shit, this is perfect. And he's
You're just asking me to be honest right now.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit.
That video gets 1 million views or some shit.
Bro, like the history of kung fu karate, bro. I didn't realize how crazy that shit went. That shit went nuts.
I gotta give credit to the way Ryan edited that though. He made it so concise and entertaining, and it was just straight to the point.
You want to know what's even crazier? I had a random person tell me the history of karate randomly afterwards, and it was the same beats of how you told it. So
might have
he
watched
must
it.
have seen
Yeah,
it.
they might have watched it.
Dude, the
He
funniest
repeated it back to me, and I was like,
Does he know that you were in the?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
going into the comments of that post and then seeing people being like, Joe's actually right, and then going into the history of it too.
Like
and
bars like this.
Yeah, and it's just like, that's fucking
There were
funny.
so many people passionate about the history of karate.
Like, who would have thought that would have got that many
They're
views?
like, you're
and likes?
correct. It was called empty hands.
My fascination is not the history of it. My fascination is like Joe's ability to be genius in one realm and retard in another.
I think we all have that, though. We all have that.
That's insane.
Mark of a true genius, though. They can't be good at everything, but the thing that they are good at is super, like...
It's like this guy's like educating like millions of people on like the history of karate, and like we're sitting here calling him shit boy from time to time.
And I feel like Joe like answered the question like this. He was like, and then he gets up and then explains. You're like, oh shit.
Or Joe is like, he's at like the World Karate fucking convention teaching black belts about the history. Everyone's like, yes, sensei, yes, sensei. And then he walks away from the podium and he's in a white belt and a gi. They're like, wait, what the fuck? I thought that guy was some fucking red belt or some shit, or some crazy belt like that.
His name is Masato.
That guy's fucking a white belt walking away. He's teaching us all his history.
Sometimes there's formula. Well, there's formulas to everything, like a good hit song, a viral video. Like even with shorts and how you present it, you go with straight the premise and the question, and then you go boom, 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 right? So sometimes the way my brain works is like, for one, I create a person that is allowed to go and experiment with what I say. So like the way you guys know me in camera is just an exaggerated version of who I really am, but then sometimes I'm super fucking mellow, right? And then my brain will turn off until it gives me literally my brain will literally turn off.
It's when you have, those solar powered calculators and you cover the solar panel.
The zero disappears. The zero's gone.
So like that instance when we were talking with Andy and everything, right? I was able to see the opportunity and give myself a layup and a slam dunk.
Wow.
Because I saw, oh, here comes that moment of, this is a good setup for this story. Let me start with a funny premise and a question, and then go into line by line the rest of it. And that's how it would work when we're playing. Because then it's, at the end of the day, like, people are being entertained. They want a story, right? You got to construct the story in a way that's still juicy, but still entertainment. But then my character that's telling the story is a retard.
I didn't get that last part, but you fine. Dude. I thought that was great. I thought it was just.
But it's
I didn't
much.
see the retard part. When you were explaining the
But I do it in layman's, right? Because there's a way that you can probably do it in a more historically factual way without curse words, and it's more boring. But I just think it's so much more entertaining, like drunk history.
Yeah.
Like you can explain a story, but you can do it in a way where people all can understand, and it's fun. Because it's like you're gossiping.
To me, it's like when you get
that's true.
when you get like possessed by some like spirit, and you give like a premonition.
The spirit of karate.
And then once like the spirit like leaves you, you're like, oh, you black out. You're like, what happened?
Yeah.
That's like you might be like completely outside of the video. Like you're like not in this room, and then you're like historical fact, and then later on you're like, I don't care about
Sleep.
this topic.
Sleep mode.
No, that's true. I get that.
Parts are when Joe is turned off, and then he'll ask a series of 5 questions that literally the answers were first given.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's true.
The children's ages were 5 and 3, and like, wait, how old were the kids?
And I'm not even playing for that shit.
That's real right there.
That's why
That's
it's
when
the
the brain is
funniest.
off.
Oh yeah.
Dude, but when the brain is off and it's apparent, it's pretty funny too. It's also a form of its own entertainment.
I remember, I don't know if it was you or someone editing, it, and they did a countdown of Joe losing focus in 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, and then you just see me like going into sleep mode, and I'm just looking around, and I start fucking with shit.
The ones where Joe's staring at the bottom right corner and he's just like. And Ryan or someone whoever's sitting next to him is saying something crazy, and like the focus that Joe, I do. I'm like, man, what is Joe thinking about right now? I'm like, he's probably thinking about some shit on Junbi or something. He's just like,
Dude, yo. Those are good.
hey, sometimes your body don't move, so it's like my screen is frozen, but Ryan's talking, you know.
Yeah. I think that's pretty productive for this type of group, though. Like, just the randomness is, I think it's needed, you know?
Dude, the number one thing that's so small, but a host will always see this, is literally Joe will be right here, and then it'll be like, all right, 3, 2, 1, and he's like, I want to get some tacos. And you're just like,
I gotta make a coffee.
yeah, I gotta make a coffee. Like, wait, like, it's like he hears the timer in order to make his disruption.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, disruption.
The funniest part, it'll be like after one of the hosts, like, all right, guys, we got a lot of videos to go through today. So we need to keep a tight ship today. All right, guys? And everyone's like, yep, all right, cool. Okay, cool, ready, 3, 2, I gotta make a coffee.
Dude, even just right now, it's like, all right, dude, we're halfway done through the day. Like, this is our moment to take a walk. We come back in after the walk. He's like, dude, we're gonna order in 3, and then we're gonna take a walk. I was like, wait, we just did the walk.
And I was walking out to go meet you guys for a walk. Joe's like, you going out for a walk?
And I walked after they walked.
We all walk in. Joe's like, all right, I'm gonna go for a walk.
And I walked
Damn.
by myself. All right, you got one of me, and that's funny, right? But lately, I've been having a little bit more self-awareness, and I've been cracking up at me and Hannah together. Because she'll be like this too, and I'm fucking judging the shit out of her, and she's judging the shit out of me, but we both don't know that we're doing it.
Damn.
And I'm just like, how the fuck are we running a company?
While your brain's in sleep mode, she's on full power. Oh, and you guys just keep switching.
There we go. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is.